While many of us are familiar with the comforts of urban living, there exist corners of our planet where life unfolds in ways that defy imagination. These tribes, hidden in the heart of remote jungles, Arctic tundras, and open oceans, live lives steeped in tradition, mystery, and, at times, an eerie aura. We'll delve into their unique ways of life, traditions, and the challenges they face, celebrating the beauty of cultural diversity and the resilience of these tribes in the face of modernization. Join us as we navigate the intriguing, the unusual, and sometimes the spine-tingling in our quest to understand these 15 remarkable tribes and their enigmatic worlds. 1. The Sentinel Tribe. The Sentinel Tribe is one of the last remaining uncontacted and isolated indigenous groups in the world, residing on North Sentinel Island in the Bay of Bengal. Their extreme isolation sets them apart from the rest of the world, as they have deliberately resisted any form of outside contact for centuries. Their isolation is due to a long history of perceived threats from outsiders and a determination to maintain their independence. The Sentinels are known for their hostility towards any attempts at contact. They have been known to use bows and arrows to ward off intruders and have a reputation for their fierce protection of their homeland. Numerous attempts to establish peaceful contact have ended in confrontation and violence, leading authorities to respect their wishes and avoid any further contact. The dangers associated with trying to interact with the Sentinel Tribe are manifold. The tribe lacks immunity to many common diseases, and contact with outsiders could lead to devastating outbreaks among their population. Additionally, their hostile response to outsiders makes any attempts at contact extremely risky, both for the Sentinelese themselves and for those attempting to make contact. The Indian government has implemented a policy of non-interference and has declared North Sentinel Island off-limits to outsiders to protect the tribe's isolation and prevent potential harm to both the Sentinelese and any intruders. The Sentinelese remain an enigmatic and fiercely independent group, living in an isolated world of their own, largely untouched by the forces of modern civilization. 2. The Masai Warriors. One well-known ethnic group in East Africa, mostly in Kenya and Tanzania, is the Masai Warriors. They are known for their rich cultural heritage, distinctive clothing, and strong warrior culture. The Masai people are known for their distinctive clothing, which frequently consists of elaborate beadwork, vividly colored shuke fabrics, and unusual haircuts. Particularly recognizable and symbolic of the Masai identity is the red shuka cloth. Every beading piece has cultural importance, and elaborate headbands, bracelets, and necklaces made of beads are an integral component of their clothing. Their age, social standing, and even marital status are all communicated by these ornaments. The warrior tradition of the Masai people is among their most notable cultural features. A rite of passage marks the transition of young Masai men from childhood to warriorhood. Warriors demonstrate their bravery and power by defending their village and livestock. They are also well known for their jumping dance, in which they leap into the air to demonstrate their power and agility. The Masai warriors are having a difficult time maintaining their way of life, though. Their farmers' way of life is in jeopardy because to land disputes, modernization's invasion, and environmental changes. The reduction of their usual grazing lands is a result of climate change and the growth of agricultural and urban regions. The Masai continue to seek to adapt and discover means of maintaining their ancient customs in a world that is always changing in an effort to strike a balance between modernization and maintaining their traditional heritage. 3. The Yanomami Tribe. An indigenous group called the Yanomami Tribe lives mostly along the borders of Brazil and Venezuela in the Amazon rainforest. They are known for their unique and ancient culture, which is characterized by shamanism, communal living, and a deep connection to the rainforest. One of the biggest indigenous communities in South America, the Yanomami live in enormous circular homes called shabonos, where they are part of a communal community. These buildings, which are made of wood and thatch, are the center of attention for their settlements. The fact that extended families reside inside the shabonos strengthens the sense of belonging and solidarity among neighbors. An important part of Yanomami culture is shamanism. Shamans, usually men or women with special spiritual skills, communicate with the afterlife to heal the sick and give the tribe direction. They use complex ceremonies and hallucinogenic drugs in their rituals, which are thought to help them establish spiritual connections. Even with their rich cultural heritage, the Yanomami are seriously threatened. Their ancestral home, the Amazon rainforest, is constantly being encroached upon because of illegal logging, mining, and deforestation. These actions upset their way of life and jeopardize the rainforest's fragile equilibrium. Additionally, because they lack immunity to these new viruses, the Yanomami have been exposed to diseases brought in by outsiders, which can have disastrous results. Although the Yanomami people's land, rights, and culture are being protected, modernization and environmental changes continue to pose a threat to their existence and the preservation of their distinctive way of life. As we journey from the lush Amazon rainforest with the Yanomami tribe, where a sustainable relationship with nature reigns, we now take a leap to the other side of the world, delving into the enigmatic practices of the Agori Sadhus in India, who embrace a world beyond the ordinary. 4. The Agori Sadhus. The Agori Sadhus, found mainly in India, are a remarkable and unconventional group of religious ascetics. Their way of life and practices are quite different from what many people are used to, often evoking a mixture of fascination and controversy. One of the most unusual aspects of the Agori Sadhus is where they choose to live: cremation grounds, places where dead bodies are burned. They believe that by residing in these locations, they can confront the stark realities of death and decay, which in turn helps them transcend material attachments and ego. By doing so, they strive to attain a higher level of spiritual awakening. It's a way for them to focus on the spiritual side of life by facing the rawness of death. One practice associated with the Agori Sadhus that always shocks people is their occasional consumption of human flesh. It's important to note that this is not a practice followed by all Agoris, and it is quite rare. They engage in such extreme actions because they believe that by doing things considered taboo or impure, they can recognize the divine essence present in all living beings. It's part of their spiritual philosophy that everything, even what's considered impure, holds a divine element. Additionally, Agori Sadhus are easily recognizable due to their distinctive appearance. They smear ash on their bodies, keep an unkempt look, and perform unconventional rituals that can include the use of substances like cannabis and alcohol during religious ceremonies. Although some people might find their actions surprising, the Agori Sadhus consider themselves as spiritual rebels. They go against the usual rules of society to reach a deeper level of spiritual understanding. Their way of life is based on ancient Hindu beliefs, and it keeps interesting and puzzling those who want to learn more about Indian spirituality. 5. The Mena Tribe. The Mena Tribe, residing in the remote Omo Valley of Ethiopia, is one of the most distinctive and visually striking indigenous groups in Africa. With a population of just over 7,000, the Mena are renowned for their captivating customs and the challenges they face in a rapidly changing world. The Mena are primarily known for the unique adornments and body modifications of their women. The practice of wearing lip plates is a defining feature of their culture. Young girls have their lower lips pierced and insert progressively larger clay or wooden plates, creating a striking and elongated lower lip. This practice is seen as a symbol of beauty, and the size of the lip plate often indicates a woman's status and dowry value. Body painting is also an integral part of their culture, with intricate designs often covering their bodies during special ceremonies or rituals. The Mena people have a strong connection to their cattle, which are essential for their survival. They rely on livestock for sustenance and social status, and cattle are often used for trade and as a symbol of wealth and prestige within the tribe. However, the Mena face significant challenges, primarily driven by increasing contact with the outside world. Tourism has introduced them to a cash economy, which has disrupted their traditional way of life. Modernization, including the encroachment of roads and infrastructure, threatens their ancestral lands and the resources on which they depend. As a result, the Mersey must navigate the complex balance between preserving their customs and adapting to the modern world. The Mersey tribes struggle to maintain their cultural identity in the face of these challenges, highlights the delicate balance between heritage preservation and the need for economic development. As they grapple with the forces of change, their unique customs continue to fascinate and provoke important discussions about cultural diversity, preservation, and adaptation in the 21st century. 6. The Himba Tribe. Nestled in Namibia's desert regions, the Himba tribe is an intriguing indigenous community distinguished by their own lifestyle and odd appearance. The population of 50,000 Himba people have managed to maintain their ancient traditional customs despite the advances in technology. The unique appearance of the Himba people is among their most remarkable characteristics. A reddish-brown ochre paste is applied to the skin and hair of both sexes to decorate them. When combined with animal fat, this paste not only offers shade from the intense desert sun, but also has cultural significance, signifying the Earth's link to the Himba's spiritual realm. The Himba wear simple, often comprising of loincloths made of leather, skirts made of animal skins, and jewelry made of copper and iron. Women in particular wear lavish jewelry that symbolizes their ethnic identity, while their ornate haircuts and headpieces convey their age and marital status. The Himba are pastoralists who live on the move and depend on raising livestock. They exhibit a strong bond with the land as well as the survival abilities required to flourish in harsh conditions as they move their herds across enormous stretches of terrain in search of grazing spots. The Himba have been able to maintain their unique way of life in spite of the contemporary world's encroachment on their cultural practices. Their vibrant sense of community, oral traditions, and ancestral worship-based spiritual beliefs all contribute to the formation of their identity and provide a powerful illustration of how resilient indigenous cultures can be in the face of change. The Himba tribe is proof of the importance of cultural variety and the worth of customs that have been passed down through the years because of their capacity to adapt while maintaining their cultural heritage. Their dedication to preserving their way of life in the face of global change provides insightful information about the significance of cultural preservation. 7. The Kowai Tribe. Nestled in the isolated rainforests of Papua, Indonesia, the Kowai Tribe is an intriguing Aboriginal community known for their remarkable treehouse homes and distinctive way of life. The Kowai, who number about 3,000, have managed to hold onto their customs and cultural heritage in spite of modernization's onslaught. The Kowai people's treehouse homes are among their most amazing features. Perched high in the rainforest canopy, these intricate constructions provide shelter from wild animals, flooding, and insects. With remarkable expertise, the Kowai construct these tree houses out of lianas, wood, and leaves. The Kowai way of life heavily relies on traditional hunting. They hunt and gather food for themselves, catching fish and animals with spears and blowpipes. Their survival depends on their in-depth understanding of the rainforest's resources. But deforestation presents problems for the Kowai tribe. The delicate balance between their way of life and the demands of industrialization is threatened by the logging and palm oil plantations that are encroaching on their ancestral lands. Their customary hunting grounds are disrupted by these outside pressures, putting their independence and relationship with the rainforest at jeopardy. 8. The Doon Tribe. Situated within the cliffs and plateaus of Mali, the Doon Tribe is a rare collection of indigenous people renowned for their rich old beliefs and deep mastery of astronomy. With a population of approximately 400,000, the Dogon people have safeguarded their unique cultural heritage for generations. The Dogon are known for having exceptional astronomical expertise, especially with regard to the Sirius star system. Their knowledge of astronomy, which predates the use of contemporary telescopes and scientific equipment, includes their understanding of Sirius B, a white dwarf star that circles the more brilliant Sirius A. Their religious and cultural traditions are affected by their cosmological beliefs, which are closely linked to these celestial bodies. The Doon Tribe is renowned for their expertise in astronomy, as well as a complex system of spirituality and cosmology, among other old beliefs. Their festivals and rituals honoring their gods and ancestors are part of their religious celebrations, which center around ancestral worship. In addition, the Doon people are renowned for their magnificent buildings and rock art. Many Doon communities are located along the Bandiagara escarpment, which is home to exquisite rock art that reflects their rich cultural past. Their mud brick granaries and homes are also architectural marvels, frequently embellished with intricate carvings and patterns. 9. The Yao Tribe. The Yao Tribe, living in the remote jungles of Papua New Guinea, has been a subject of interest and intrigue due to their isolation and limited contact with the outside world. Their small population, estimated to be around 100 individuals, has maintained a traditional way of life that stands in stark contrast to modern society. The Yao's existence centers on subsistence farming and hunting in the dense jungles of Papua New Guinea. They live in thatched huts, use traditional methods for hunting and food preparation, and rely on a deep understanding of their environment to sustain their way of life. Their customs, language, and practices remain largely unknown to the world at large, and little research has been conducted on their culture. The Yao tribe's isolation and limited interaction with the modern world have raised questions about the delicate balance between preserving their way of life and respecting their autonomy, while also addressing potential threats from deforestation, disease, and encroachment by the modern world. It serves as a reminder of the incredible diversity of human cultures and the challenges faced by indigenous groups in an increasingly interconnected global landscape. Efforts are ongoing to study and protect their unique culture while respecting their autonomy and ensuring their well-being in a changing world. 10. The Mentawai Tribe. The Mentawai Tribe, an indigenous group living on the Mentawai Islands in Indonesia, offers a fascinating glimpse into a traditional way of life that is rapidly vanishing in the face of modernization. With a population of around 64,000, the Mentawai people are known for their unique tattooing and body modification traditions. Tattooing is a central aspect of Mentawai culture, and both men and women receive intricate tattoos at a young age. These tattoos are created using traditional hand-tapping methods, involving the use of natural pigments and sharpened sticks. The designs often represent various aspects of their cultural identity and spirituality, and they signify the individual's status and accomplishments within the community. In addition to tattooing, body modification practices like teeth chiseling and ear stretching are also prominent in Mentawai culture. These modifications serve as rites of passage and mark significant life events, reflecting their strong ties to the natural world and ancestral spirits. However, the Mentawai tribe faces a significant struggle to preserve their unique cultural heritage. As modernization advances and external influences encroach upon their traditional way of life, the younger generation is increasingly exposed to Western culture and influences. The challenge lies in striking a balance between adapting to the changing world and preserving their rich cultural traditions. 11. The Mudmen Tribe. The Mudmen refer to the Huli Tribe, an indigenous group residing in the southern highlands of Papua New Guinea. They are renowned for their unique and striking appearance, characterized by the mud masks they wear during rituals and ceremonies. The Huli tribe is known for their elaborate traditions and customs, including the use of mud masks, which have contributed to their distinctive and somewhat eerie image. These masks are created from mud, natural pigments, and various plant materials. The purpose of the mud masks is to instill fear and awe during tribal rituals, such as initiation ceremonies, dances, and warfare preparations. The masks are often adorned with wigs made from human hair, shells, and feathers. While the Huli's mud masks and appearance might appear unsettling to outsiders, they are integral to their cultural practices and beliefs. The Huli have a complex system of beliefs, particularly related to spirits, the afterlife, and the role of men and women in their society. 12. The AWA Tribe, guardians of the Amazon rainforest. Deep within the heart of the Amazon rainforest in Brazil, the AWA Tribe, also known as the Awa Guaha, continue to live a traditional way of life that has endured for centuries. They are among the world's last remaining nomadic hunter-gatherer societies, harmoniously coexisting with the lush, untamed wilderness that surrounds them. The Awa's existence is a testament to their resilience and self-sufficiency. They move in small, mobile family groups, adept at navigating the dense jungle, relying on hunting, gathering, and fishing for sustenance. Their encampments, often made of palm leaves and bark, are temporary, leaving no lasting mark on the environment they cherish. Yet, the Awa face grave challenges. Their homeland is under constant threat from deforestation, illegal logging, and land invasions by ranchers. As the outside world encroaches on their territory, the Awa's isolation and traditional way of life are in peril. International organizations and indigenous rights groups tirelessly advocate for the Awa, recognizing the urgent need to protect both their lands and their cultural heritage. 13. The Surma Tribe. The Surma, also known as the Suri or Surma people, are a semi-nomadic ethnic group residing in the southwestern part of Ethiopia, particularly in the Omo Valley. While they are not inherently scary, their distinctive appearance, practices, and traditions may seem intimidating or unusual to outsiders. The Surma people are known for their elaborate body modification practices, which include lip plates and intricate scarification. Young girls have their lower lips pierced and stretched to accommodate ever larger clay or wooden plates. These plates, which can be up to several inches in diameter, are seen as a symbol of beauty, status, and readiness for marriage. Scarification, the process of cutting intricate patterns into the skin and rubbing ash into the wounds, is another common practice among the Surma. The Surma have a warrior culture, with young men engaging in stick fights, known as donga, as a rite of passage. These duels can be quite violent and are intended to demonstrate strength and courage. Stick fighting has been a traditional way to settle disputes and attract potential brides. Their isolation from modern society has allowed the Surma to maintain their unique way of life, although they face increasing challenges from external influences, such as tourism and development projects. While their practices may appear intimidating or scary to some, they are deeply rooted in Surma culture and hold significance for the people who follow them. Visitors are encouraged to approach the Surma with respect and cultural sensitivity, appreciating the richness of their traditions. 14. The Aunu Tribe. In the Brazilian Amazon rainforest, there is an indigenous tribe known as the Aunu. They are one of the several indigenous populations in the area, and they speak the Panoan language. The Aunu are a small group of people that have experienced various hardships, such as interaction with outsiders, that has led to the loss of a large number of their population. The Aunu have had many difficulties, but interacting with non-native groups like loggers and settlers has been one of the biggest. Devastating effects of this encounter include sickness, bloodshed, and the destruction of their native territories. Their village has likewise been completely destroyed, and their members uprooted as a result. The Brazilian government, indigenous rights groups, and anthropologists have worked to safeguard and support the Aunu and other marginalized and vulnerable Amazonian indigenous communities. These initiatives involve the creation of protected areas as well as the provision of social and medical assistance. Many indigenous groups in the Amazon rainforest continue to strive to protect their culture, land, and way of life from outside dangers and difficulties. The story of the Aunu serves as an example of these struggles. 15. The Mashko-Piro Tribe. The Mashko-Piro are not inherently scary. However, they are an isolated indigenous group residing in the Amazon rainforest of Peru, and their interactions with outsiders have sometimes been characterized by tension and mistrust. The Mashko-Piro, also known as the Cujareño, are a nomadic and isolated indigenous group living in the remote rainforests of southeastern Peru, near the border with Brazil. They are known for their distinctive way of life and for their relative avoidance of contact with the outside world. Some will say the term scary about the Mashco Piro due to some incidents of aggressive behavior toward outsiders. They have been known to approach settlements and tourists, occasionally displaying hostility, which has resulted in conflicts and confrontations. These interactions have given rise to safety concerns and the perception of the Mashco Piro as potentially dangerous, though such incidents have been relatively rare. The Mashco Piro's isolation is the result of a deliberate choice to maintain their traditional way of life and protect their territory. They rely on hunting, gathering, and fishing for sustenance and have resisted outside influences. Anthropologists and Peruvian authorities have been attempting to engage with the Mashco Piro in a culturally sensitive and peaceful manner to better understand their needs and facilitate peaceful coexistence. While the interactions with the Mashco Piro have at times been uneasy, it's essential to approach discussions about this indigenous group with empathy and a recognition of their right to determine their own way of life. It's essential to approach different cultures and indigenous groups with respect and an open mind, seeking to understand and appreciate their traditions, rather than making judgments based on cultural differences. Scary or negative stereotypes can be harmful and unfair, and it's important to avoid such assumptions and misconceptions when learning about and interacting with diverse cultures. Let us know your thoughts in the comments.